Hi, welcome to the Purple Fox Kitchen. My name is Julie, and today we're going to make spaghetti sauce, also known as marinara sauce. It is delicious, it is easy, you're never going to eat jarred sauce again, so let's get started. So this is going to be a very simple marinara sauce, 5 ingredients. Let's get started. I'm going to use a small onion. So you're going to want to cut the top and bottom off of your onion, and we're just going to dice it up. Cut it in half. And then get rid of the skin. So I like to cut it the long way first. After you dice up your onion, I'm going to take a couple cloves of garlic. You want to take your knife and punch it down. It gets the skin off. And it's okay if you really mash up the garlic because you're going to dice it up anyways. See how easy that peel comes off? So we're just going to mince up your garlic. And then you're going to want to run your knife through it. So I'm going to put my pan on medium-high heat. I'm going to add some extra virgin olive oil. And to this I'm going to add my onions. So you want your onions to sweat a little bit. You don't want to get any color on them. So that's why it's at a medium-high heat. And then I'm going to add my garlic. And you don't want the garlic to burn. And I'm just going to cook that down for a couple minutes. So I always like to season as I go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some salt and pepper. A little salt. Some fresh ground pepper. And my onions and garlic are nice and tender right now. So what I'm going to do, I have 1 can of crushed tomatoes. I'm going to add that. And I have 1 can of pureed tomatoes. And the reason I do both is because I like the texture of the crushed, where the pureed it's silky smooth, and I don't want my sauce to be silky smooth. I want it to have a little texture. Now that my tomatoes are in here, I'm actually going to add a little bit more salt. Just a little pinch. And this may sound crazy, but I'm going to add about a tablespoon of sugar. And what that does, tomatoes are naturally acidic. So it's going to balance the acidity in the sauce. So I'm going to add maybe a half a tablespoon. Start with that. Half a tablespoon of sugar, some salt, and then I like to take some basil. I'm going to add basil at the very end so it doesn't get overcooked. But I take off the leaves that I'm going to use, and I like to put the stems in here, just for a little basil flavor. That's it. You're going to let this simmer for about 10-15 minutes. We're going to taste it a little bit later, see if it needs more salt, see if it needs more sugar, and I'll see you back here in about 10-15 minutes. So the last thing we're going to do is I'm going to search in here and just take out these pieces of basil stem that were in there. They were just infusing flavor. We're going to get rid of those because we don't want to eat them. And that looks good. And then we're going to chop up some fresh basil. And the best way to cut basil is take your leaves and stack them on top of each other. You're making like a little basil package. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your basil and roll it up. And now the fancy term for this is chiffonade. So you're going to take it and cut really thin pieces. You obviously need a thin, a sharp knife. So you can see now it's like confetti. Nice thin pieces. Take them apart. And then I'm just going to run my knife through this just a little bit to break them up so they're not so long. And now I'm just going to add this to the sauce, and then it's done. So now that the basil's in here, I have to try it just one more time. It's so good. That basil adds such a level of freshness to it. Use this with your favorite pasta, chicken parm, anything that you would use that jar of sauce for. Make this instead. If you have extra, freeze it and you'll have it whenever you want it. Thank you for watching. Be sure to follow me on my YouTube channel, The Purple Fox Kitchen. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.